I'm here at the CFS staging ground at Yorktown, and this has been the hive of activity this morning because this is where the trucks come in and out. Those crews who have been working throughout the night for those fires, they're plainly exhausted because it's been such a long and hard fight against this fire, but it's now been downgraded to a watch and act. As you mentioned, there have been 11 properties that have been confirmed to have been damaged or partially destroyed. It's been a fairly harrowing night because that fire started yesterday in those extreme conditions and plus 40-degree heat. But what happened was early this morning, a cool change came through, but with that cool change brought really gusty winds, which then that fire just took hold and changed direction. And residents of Edithburgh, which is just nearby here, they're actually being told to watch and act at the moment because that area is still under threat, because even though the temperatures have dropped, the winds are still quite gusty and there is some concern there. So it's been a really tough night because it was about 5 o'clock this morning that most of this place was blanketed by thick smoke. And it's been something that crews say that has been really exhausting, and it's going to be a fair few hours ahead before they can really get hold of this. We've got a water bomber coming from New South Wales to really try and help bring this fire under control.
So how are people coping with the conditions?
Well, it's been a really tough night, because a sleepless night for a lot of people, because when those winds came through, it really just brought that fire coming straight through. A lot of people were told to evacuate from their homes, and a lot of them went down to the seaside and sought shelter there. But a lot of people are now wondering what's happened to their properties. They know that 11 properties have been destroyed, but many people can't get back to those areas. There's roadblocks in place across much of that area, and people are just really worried about what's left when they go home. And we've spoken to a couple of people this morning.
We're some of the ones that just got off fairly lightly in comparison to a lot of others. My cousin's place down here, their house is gone. Mainly what concerns me is the livestock at the moment.
So it's still a pretty anxious time for people down here. There's still a lot of work ahead as firefighters battle to bring that blaze under control in the coming hours.
Now to Gabby at the Country Fire Service. Gabby, what's happening in the rest of the state?
Well, Ros, I think it's fair to say the rest of the state is licking their wounds today after such a devastating day yesterday. We know there were 65 fires that broke out around the state, with around 600 people working to put those fires out. We still have 2 fires that have not been completely put out in different areas of the state, one in the mid-north and one in the Riverland. And we've got to remember it's not even the end of summer yet, so everyone's a little, it's been a very difficult day and everyone is licking their wounds. The SA Premier had this to say earlier today.
My clear message to the people of South Australia is to be prepared. Make sure they do everything they possibly can to be prepared, because it is a very high likelihood that at some point there will be other fires here in South Australia. The best thing that we can do as a state is to be prepared. We're doing our part from the government's perspective with the Emergency Management Council, the State Emergency Centre, making sure that all of our services are properly resourced and they've got preparation plans in place.
So Gabby, what's the outlook for the rest of the day and the week?
Well, as we heard from Richard, that cool change has come through and we're feeling that effects. It's in the low 20s today and it looks like it will stay that way for the rest of the week. So a bit of relief, some time to regroup this week before we go into the summer, and of course probably see some very high conditions as the new season begins.
Gabby Marchant at the CFS there, and Richard Davies in Yorktown. Thank you both.